At we have the
Hey,
computer
computer
lady again.
lady.
Hooray!
Yeah, it's all out of my system now. We're fine.
Hooray!
Welcome everybody. We're here after the long and particularly political luncheon. Elsbeth took up the offer to head off and meet the sender of that invitation at the embassy in the Temple District. The senders turned out to be none other than the twin sisters from the ruling family of Azinth. So after a high quality meal and dancing around any number of topics, Elsbeth managed to have the bounty on her capture removed and got the name of a contact who's connected with the Weavers. The Weavers being a group that Azathan has been determined to get back in touch with ever since
Rockvale.
Rockville, which is a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're talking
it
like
is.
episode 6.
Don't go
Like,
back to Rockville.
Well, I
So
mean,
that,
we could always travel montage. I don't know what you mean.
We gotta
um,
bring our own bread though. There's a shortage.
And callbacks, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we do comedy.
this is the gag that will not go away.
I love it. It's fantastic. So the contact person was given to you as being named Severin the Whip, and he could be found at Duke Varan's Mystic Hippodrome.
Woo!
There were another list of other things that hints, possible topics, a bunch of that sort of stuff floated out there. But now you have contact, you have the location. The question is put to you all, what now?
Did we ever
Oh.
hear back from Morgan?
No.
We also haven't found. We also haven't found Tortle yet.
Correct.
Well, I'm sure Tortuga will be fine.
I'm sure
He
we'll
was the
find
last, yeah.
Tortoloni floating around here somewhere.
You got us to say his name correctly once.
That's okay. When you said his name, I was like, wait, who?
I'm just going to give up and call him Turtle.
Don't worry, we've got all the names covered for you.
Excellent. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Um,
Yadu was out for a bit while we were figuring out the luncheon and all that. Is he back yet?
Indeed, he is.
So if you want to fill me in, give me some sense of what we're up against, I can offer my advice.
Do you want the vague list of topics that you hit?
Yeah, just a refresher would be delightful.
Okay.
I think I can recall at least a good chunk of those. And give a vague pass down.
Please.
The short and unpolitical version of it. The Azinthians are looking around to try and find allies that they can align themselves with, and they're currently digging around and using us to see and look into the Weavers.
And you have background with the Weavers, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Elsbeth does not, but that's after a discussion that was handed off where I can take the lead in doing that delving since I wanted to get back in contact with them anyways. They were looking around trying to see if the Weavers were a worthy political ally. And they were let them know that we would look into that for them. We're trying to avoid getting politically entangled to the best of our ability, and that we can, given the capacity we exist in now. And that was the main things that immediately have to do with the rest of us.
Yes. Elsbeth, I do remember one thing. Elsbeth needs to talk to you, Iadu. What would convince the Thardelians to march to war?
Side note, not much.
Well, I was going to go there, but I was also going to go, first off, you have to threaten their home. And by threatening their home, it needs to be somebody who can easily be lashed back out at, or they will essentially, like the animal you see, and he gives you the description of an armadillo, they will just roll up into a ball and cut off all trade. That is their way of defending themselves, given their homeland is one that's relatively well defended and has a great standing army. They feel no need to put their political might out there. Their political might is walls, and the higher the better.
Well, they apparently, the new theocracy across the way has antagonized them because they've decided to try and march across the Azinthian plains
Interesting.
to engage. Because I don't remember, we know it's a theocracy, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
The theocracy of Syracuse.
Yeah, Syracuse.
Which
Yeah,
is
Syracuse
a
declared
relatively
war on
recent.
Azinth.
Yes.
And that's one reason why they're asking us to asking us to look for allies, because there are certain moves they can make publicly and certain moves they can't. If they can find a cat's paw or a proxy, they don't rock the boat, but they can still do what they need to do.
Now, I am connected with the Third Aliens well enough to be able to ask some questions, but
Yeah, but the third, as far as I'm aware, as far as I was told, the Thardalians have just decided they're doing this.
and so it makes me wonder, because that's very atypical of them. They would much rather put up defensive walls and ignore everybody.
Yeah.
So for them to do this, there must be something going on.
Yeah, especially because Syracuse is nowhere near them.
Yeah, and they're not the type to let their lines of supply get cut. So they will be living off the land, which means basically you're letting loose locusts. There'll be nothing left.
And then there will be a bread shortage.
Then there really will be, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, we've doomed these people. We've manifested all of this.
Full circle.
Well, there's an old Thardelian saying, if it's dry, smoke it. If it's wet, kill it and prep it. Otherwise, throw it on the wagon. That's how they go to war.
Ah,
Neat. I'm so glad that that's not our problem.
Let's put it this way. I grew up on a
Yes.
steady diet of horse because it's what we had available from the horse lords that came through.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So
mm,
we need to be prepared. And if we need to get that information to your contacts to at least let them know what they're up against, because people don't understand how the Thardalians fight, because very few are there to tell the tale. They don't leave survivors. They leave scraps. And they will feed their
Yeah.
enemies to their animals.
this explains why Azanthia is so concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny how Azathan seems to think this isn't going to be our problem.
It's going to be. It may. I mean, it's our problem if we make it our problem. It's inevitable, though.
Doesn't have to be.
You won't find me telling us to go pick up the sword for them. I have my orders. I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And until I hear from the Red Lady differently, I know exactly where I need to be, and it's right here with you.
I appreciate that degree of constance. But our concern is still with the world falling apart, multiple cults, unchained God,
Yes.
And all that stuff seems closer to what I'm dealing with because my family's probably at the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, men in wars and kingdoms, those things come and go with time. Our entire reality unraveling seems to make all of that rather moot.
Mm-hmm. And so
But-
what we have aligns.
But all of this inevitably, I'm not saying that we get to, this will be something that'll just occur in the background and we get to go, oh, look, that's a fancy thing. It's phenomenal. No, we will inevitably deal with the consequences of this, whether we interact directly with it or not.
Yeah. My biggest concern on the war end of things is if it's agitated Thardelians, it's reaching the effects of it are already reaching this side of the continent. So if Lithia gets decides to at least shore up its borders, that could increase tensions with Trokal.
The politics.
Yeah, it's gonna create a big ripple effect, and not in any way good.
I will leave the worrying about those ripples to you.
Yay, ripples.
You sure we can't make waves?
Oh, the waves
We're very
coming.
good at that. Yeah.
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 We just
yeah,
need to stay on top of the wave.
I was gonna say, I believe you are the waves, Thea.
You better learn to surf. Uh,
If you learn to swim, you might need to know.
and
I
I don't
only
mean
don't
surf,
paddle.
SERF either.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wah, wah.
Okay. So there was no timeline given. So if there are things that you need to take time within the city, resting, studying, learning, practicing, all of those sort of things, we can sort of gloss over that as you have your place, you live there, you can set things up. I know at some point, as then you were saying you wanted to repair and reconstruct the pieces of your staff that were broken.
Yeah, all we're missing is you would, right?
yep. All we're missing is you would, which I'm figuring I can get from an alchemist somewhere.
You would.
Yes.
I get the feeling that it's probably going to be back at alchemist that you sent Thea and I to.
Honestly, not necessarily.
Hmm.
There's a bunch of random things that can go on.
Do you need do we know if we need like a full like staff worth or just a sample?
I
Because
just need a piece,
we can get that from the market. Find the lumber area.
probably.
You
Yep.
can get that. You get a spare piece that's not going to be processed cheap.
And actually, you could probably go to a bowyer because yew is used in bows a lot.
Oh yeah,
It's a phenomenal wood for making bows.
yeah. And if
Mhm.
you just need a sample, that'd be easy to find a piece they're not going to be able to use.
Yeah, that's the last thing I need. Everything else, Elsbeth still has the rest of that.
Yeah, I have the
list.
recipe. Did I never send that to you? I thought I did.
You did not.
Thea put on the boots of swiftness, so I am not grounded. So see how that goes.
Excellent news.
Let me just shoot that recipe to you now, so I don't forget again.
Thank you kindly.
There you are.
And I will double check because I guess I'll have to reference that with what we put into the bank thus far. Okay, got that.
But I would like to spend time but actually copying out the Twilight Codex and studying the various spells I have collected.
Okay.
So I
yeah.
can add them to my spellbook.
Well, you can
Hol-
use, as we talked about, you can use the other
Yeah.
spell, but you just have two. You can use
Yeah.
that one, but you can delve in, you can take the time, you can look over the notes, make your own notes, adjust.
Yep.
Make it so that it is yours.
The holder of the bank notes, I have questions.
What's up?
How many gems do we have in the bank? And do you have the valuation on them?
Yes. We have let's see.
We have how
Three sorry.
because
Three
for
diamond. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say we have I didn't know how many insurance diamonds because we only need one for this recipe.
Well, it says it prefers diamonds, but we just need 300 gold's worth of gemstones. I'd rather keep the diamonds for the life insurance policies.
Yeah, so from the box of gems, there's 2 300 gold piece diamonds. There's 3 diamonds, 50 gold piece value each, 2 emeralds, which are 100 gold piece each, 5 rubies that are 30 gold piece each. We have 5 10 gold piece azurites, 710 gold piece hematite, 1 emerald, 2 amethyst, and 2 black gems, and 2 rubies that are unspecified. That came from that Steam
Okay.
place.
I'm gonna need to go to the bank and make a withdrawal then. Because I'm gonna need those. I'm gonna need to get some of my own money out. And then I can fix this staff finally.
Okay. Make whatever the necessary withdrawal. There as long as you can work uninterrupted, it shouldn't be an issue. There should be no like loss of anything other than using up the pieces or the ingredients for the repair. And you know, I would say specify if there's anyone who has a specific other thing, how long you wanted it to basically rest, recuperate, be in the house. Now, I'm thinking
Yeah, just
somewhere in the neighborhood of like couple of weeks, 2 3 weeks, something like that.
And during that time, I'll be asking around and using my free time to see if we can find Turtle.
Okay.
If since I'm no longer worried about being jumped, I've
Oh,
switched
that
to
got solved?
Yes.
Please
I was
excuse me.
assured that the bounty was considered gauche and it would be stopped.
Okay. Good to know.
So I'm switching to the new look for the new reference pick I remember mentioning to you all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm now purple.
Woo, purple.
Purple,
With
red.
sparkly gloves.
Yep.
Remus.
DM, I sent you a list of spells I remember we found during the spa. Those are the spells I know were never part of any spell book. I think they're all 4th level.
Were those in scrolls?
They might have been. I do not recall. I know they were, at least the notations on them were in a lot of the notes.
If you want to copy those into your spell book, then you can.
Okay. Do I
That
need
could
to
be
do gold
that could be part of
cost?
this whole
Yeah.
process of take your time, get them sorted, get them in.
Mm-hmm.
And all those should be 5Es, right?
Yes, they're all, well, except for the last one.
Okay.
That was a Morgan one, so worst case, I can ask him to show me.
If he gets back to you.
Yeah, everyone's fucking disappearing on us.
Remarkably non-communicative.
It's almost like the rats are abandoning the city.
Where is it? Okay, don't let me forget. Yes, it's a 4th level wizard spell.
Yeah. I think that whole list was actually, which is why I couldn't deal with them for so long.
Oh, do you not know that spell?
No.
Oh, I remember you're going to like this one. There's a lot more to it, but essentially you can find a fire that's big enough, step into it, and step out of another one.
Oh, it's like Tree Stride. Okay.
I will see if I can dig that up for you specifically. Just don't let me forget. Okay.
Okay.
So prep. Give me an investigate for Yadu.
How long should it take me to copy out the stuff for the Twilight Codex? Just the information, not the spells. Because we were going to make a copy for negotiation purposes.
There's a
There's a page count. Let me see if I can find it.
yeah, but there's a copying thing that you can do. It's actually a spell for that, and it gives an amount.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that last time I brought this up. It's not a 5th edition spell.
Oh, of course not. Why would it be?
But I think it was a cantrip.
Yeah, but there's a gold piece cost associated with the cantrip. When you think of the spell right?
There's one that basically allows you to it creates a copy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is? Is it right?
I think it's right. Because it's used both for the inscription of things into a spell book, as well as being able to copy non-magical writings in blink of an eye.
Oh, that'd be lovely. If it's a cantrip, I'll take that because I think at envelopes I'm allowed to swap them out. In which case, I can get rid of light because I don't need it anymore.
Give me a moment to find it.
Yep.
Whilst Azathan is rooting about.
And for the preliminary investigation, I got an 8.
Okay. You are coming up hard against a bunch of people that do not want to talk about what happened to him or Mouse.
Okay, so that was the other piece. Because I wanted to go where Mouse was headquartered, and I would like to do a different form of investigation called intimidation, as my weapon gives me advantage with that. And so I'd like to also find somebody that I know knows Mouse, an old bodyguard or anybody connected with him, and see if I can run up the chain that way.
Okay.
So, and that would be a nat 20.
Yeah, of course, scaring people is the good rule.
Hey, interrogation is what he does.
Yeah. Crime doesn't pay. It's my special ability. It gets underlings to give up information about their superiors they normally would not give up.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So combine that with the intimidation 20, I figure we'll at least get something.
So whilst all of the scribblings and mumblings and all of the mystic things are going on at home, you're basically out doing the beatdown on anybody you could find. Like, hey, I need some answers.
Yeah, get me the next guy up the
Batman.
chain, and then I go to him, get me the next guy up the chain, and how high can I get and how close can I get to Mouse before somebody tells me you can't go any higher because that person's dead and here's what happened. That's what I want.
Francis?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Where's Francis?
Yep. You're gonna be dead in like 10 minutes. Where's Francis?
He made me ask twice.
Okay. You spend some time and you dig up a couple of people, but they are all super reluctant. There is nobody that gives anything up willingly. You really had to strong arm tactic some people, which again, you're fine with, but
I was about to say,
you're like, this seems a lot for like a low grade fence and his team.
right. And he was but he was connected to the Codex, which means he was in over his head. That's where I need to figure out who made him gone because he was in over his head, because that's what we really need here.
I'm sorry. The 10-word version of what I missed.
Oh,
Looking for Turtle and Mouse.
yeah, looking
Okay.
for Turtle and Mouse. Both are gone. Everybody shut up. and it took my ability plus a nat 20 to get anything on what's going on. Everybody's super reluctant because whoever they name is going to kill everybody on the planet. It seems like they officially have the fear of whatever god they pray to in them right now. And so what I'm trying to find out is, where does it all stem back, and can we know something of the big bad that made Mouse and Turtle disappear?
Well, fuck. Excellent.
That's what I do.
You have gleaned that, as exactly as you expected, whatever that magical connection was the cause of all of this. Now, whether or not it was more cultists or whether or not it was some greater connection to that, it's really hard to say, because most of the people who get the say tend to get eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
So no one's saying. But of the people that you grind down, you have learned that the best place for gathering information, if you will, the sort of the new hub of where that sort of stuff happens, isn't really new at all. It's just well protected enough and high class enough that something like this isn't really going to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a place called the Blue Smoke Ring.
Mm-hmm.
A fantastic place for information. However, there are a couple of gangs out there that are not all the way done. One of which happens to operate out of the Hippodrome.
Okay, then that's probably a good place for me to end up. The only other thing I had to do other than that, that's sufficient on that leg, is, given what happened beyond Bend, there was somebody out there that matched the distinct description of a relative of mine, and I wanted to spend some time researching if that person has gone to ground or is now gaining power.
That was the ghost knife.
Yes.
We killed them.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that one of those people was the ghost knife.
I'm
Right.
wearing her boots.
That great. I just wanted that off the table.
Yeah.
Because,
I figured that might come up.
I
I don't
have
daddy issues. I have sister issues. So, okay.
I got some boots.
Well, you got boots, and we got a dead body that I can verify ain't my sis.
Yeah, it was absolutely clear.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
Mm.
I wanted that part of this whole thing shut down.
But it was it genuinely sounded like the same sort of, the thing that tripped it for you is it sounded really like the same sort of thing, almost as if someone had been coached.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the knockoff brand version. Cheap drugs.
Yep.
Low rent thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Secret ghosty thing, power, assassination, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even the name, right?
Yeah.
They were the
So it all feels like a low rent knockoff.
right, as
But
if someone,
they got all the pieces right, which means they had to have learned it from somewhere.
exactly.
Okay. Fair enough.
So there is that. You're like, there's still something. They learned that someone knows,
Mm-hmm.
and someone told them. And notably, the golden circle was there, albeit not in the way they might have wanted. Troop movements wasn't exactly high on the priority list. However, that's what it came down to.
Okay.
They moved on it just like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I'm at ease.
And that's
Okay.
so that's the other tie-in, the other reason for the proxy to the Weavers for you. The Zintians are all in on Golden Circle. They believe in them. They are the roving judiciary of the countryside. This is a thing. They're in. As a matter of fact, one of their royal family is Golden Circle, although she has denounced the family itself in terms of not denounced, abdicated.
Yeah, that's the word.
She has abdicated in the royal portion of it
Remove themselves from line of succession.
in favor of moving up in succession in the Golden Circle.
Right.
A name that might ring a bell with you. One certain Abiona. From a long time ago. Maybe
On
not.
that note, once I have the copy of the Twilight Codex, I want to keep the original somewhere safe, which means one of two places, which is either with me, or the Spire. I kind of want to go back and go, I have something to keep here, something you guys might like.
Okay.
Yes, put this alongside your collection of other horrifying books.
Yeah, because this is important. This is story. This is significance. Yeah, I want to give it to. I want people the people who are going to give the respect it deserves. So I would like to try and make contact with the Spire and go, hey, I got something you guys might like.
Okay.
But is it something that they should have?
I think it's safe in their hands.
Okay.
I would like to believe it's safe in their hands.
The smirk on Eric's face tells me otherwise, but sure.
It's no, actually, they it does take some doing for you to sort of work your way around to a point where you do figure out a method of getting in touch with somebody.
Yeah.
But it has to be very subtle. And eventually you basically you catch somebody out in conversation and they're like, oh. But they give you a methodology. There's actually a place you can go, as long as you go there by circuitous route.
Absolutely.
The fancy code for knocking, and they'll bring you in and have lengthy discussions with you over security and placement.
Absolutely.
They do have a library, but until they get the opportunity to confirm a lot of things, particularly with Morgan, who is far, far, far out of town, apparently.
Which explains a lot.
What's that?
Which explains a lot.
They're going to say, let's not have you dive into the library today. We'll hold this. We know it's you. We will say something to him. We will get this sorted.
Okay. I will also pass on, hey, these were the events that happened in Bend. I'm sure you've heard by in the Terremoto District. I'm sure you've heard, but here's a more detailed report than you got. Probably more accurate too.
Yeah, so there was a whole lot of speculation and discussion, and that takes up basically an entire afternoon of you going through a bunch of different things, and now there's a whole like junior member expedition that's going back out there to look for whatever and check out, like, wait a minute, it does what? How did they do that? Get the alchemy group, there's a lot of
get the alchemy teams out there.
So you've kicked all that into motion for them.
Well, if I'm going to be keeping the book until they give me a chance to get into the library, I'm going to have Azthan keep it in the bag.
Oh no, but they'll hold it for
Oh,
you.
they'll hold it. Okay, then that's fine.
They just don't want you. They're like, no, we'll hold it. It'll be here. It'll be safe.
Okay,
However,
then that's fine.
we don't want you going in rooting around because we don't know where you fall in the list of things you should or shouldn't have access to.
Makes sense. I'm still rather.
We don't know what your clearance is.
Clarence Schmearance.
Says the rogue.
Clarence.
Says the invisible rogue.
So you have all of that. You're basically restocked, healed up, new clothes, re-outfitted, ready to rock and roll with all your new gear.
All right.
Anyone? What's next?
Oh, sorry. I thought there was going to be a follow up to that.
Nope. Hippodrome, I think, is where both of us need to go because now I have a reason to be there as well.
Yeah, I have two things I technically want to do before I hit the Hippodrome.
Okay.
One is the ritual to fix the staff.
Okay. Easy.
Which
That's
I will
within
help you with.
It's
Yep.
within that time frame of all this stuff going on, research, copying, et cetera, et cetera.
Excellent. Holder of the banknotes, please withdraw 100 gold pieces from the bank accountant general and then 300 gold worth of the non-diamond gemstones.
You'll have to catch up with the holder of the banknotes.
I'm
No.
here. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You
I was
said,
trying to give you a break.
Oh, you're good. I'm here listening. I'm just munching.
Fair. I'll send it to
Yeah.
you. I'll send it to you in a message.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking for.
So now, how much of a trek is it to get to said Hippodrome?
So, the Hippodrome, really only known to not the elite. Let's say that.
Uh-huh.
The Hippodrome is basically the south end of the landward part. So you'd have to go, either you take a boat or you go back across to Bend and around the land part down to the bottom. They're essentially like the southern tip of Lithian area, but calling it Lithia is, sort of like calling the deep suburbs the same as the city.
Yeah, fair.
They're out at the fringe, basically. However, there are a couple of boat routes that they will take you right there. They'll take you right to the beach. It is known, and if you want to go there and partake, people will get you there. It will
Okay.
cost you, basically, it costs you 5 coppers each.
I think we can come up with the 5 coppers each.
It might be a bit of a struggle.
So for there, let's do
Okay.
that.
I'm presuming we're all going because that's where the next plot point is, so everyone should probably be on deck.
Gee whiz, what makes you say that?
Fair.
General intelligence and the fact that there's an owlbear on top of that.
So now you have a map.
Oh, I thought running off and gallivanting plot points on our own was kind of our thing.
And I just remembered we can always, if we need more information, go to No Town. Well, not everybody can, but some of us can.
If you can find it.
Yeah, you gotta find it.
That's sharing correctly.
Excellent. Look at that.
Most excellent.
Excellent.
At the southern end of the main bay, there is this little beach nestled in rocks, scrubs, low hills. There are a series of really decorative stone walls. However, hang on, let me get my pointer. Let me get my pointer. So, over here, decorative stone, decorative stone, decorative stone, all this out here, decorative stone. Okay.
Yes.
All of this along here
Hmm.
is basically about 15-foot tall wrought iron, massive fence with a gate in the middle. Through that, looking down there, you could basically see a hard packed / stone, depending on where you are, what amounts to an arena. And from the page down, headed out over that whole area, essentially is a huge canvas cover, almost as if it's attached along here, it goes out over here, almost as if it's a giant tent out over this. And this definitely has the look of an arena.
Don't want to wind up there.
Stripy tent over there. Stripy tent is essentially sort of like the check-in point. You do see people that have tokens who stop over, show the token. You'd have other people who show a different form of token, and then you have people who do not show tokens at all.
Hmm.
Once people move past the token area, over
Those
here,
token areas, do those people have a distinction between them of who seems to have one versus the other?
oh, great question. Roll a perception check.
Yay. That is 28.
Yeah, you look at it, you're like, wait a minute. Oh, essentially, there's one type of token. As you look at them, they all have a very similar method of dress. You're like, those people work here. There's a second type of token. They all appear to be, for lack of better terminology, the regulars. And then anyone who doesn't have one of those tokens is kicking in some amount of money in order to just go in. Basically, your day pass people. The other, this tent over here, essentially amounts to money changer. Whatever form of currency you have, they can do the money swap thing for you. Then once people make it through here if they need it, they cruise on down. Weapons get checked. Weapons are not allowed unless you're going to fight. And everyone enters through the door, which is off screen but essentially further down the page. Down here.
Yep.
That's the main door. It's weird
Rip
that
and
one
tear.
wall shows through.
Yeah.
Rip and tear are going to be bracelets on either arm using, what was that Hold on.
That's one of the powers that they have.
Yeah. I just forget what the name is. One second.
Daggers are going in the bag. For me. Not that I have
Stealthy.
fancy daggers. So the staff. Is that gonna be a problem?
That's a great question. They will actually,
Do I get a wristband? Sorry.
yes. Yeah,
Oh, all right.
you do. If you want to keep it with you,
Mhm.
you get a cuff like Elsbeth had.
Oh,
Gonna look at the cuff. Fair trade. Because I'm not putting away the staff. That's
So they'll give you a token to match their token. When you come back, they have the key. When you're out, they'll unlock the magic cuff that dampens your magic.
Yeah, you won't be able to cast that thing on.
works for me.
Okay.
I have like a dagger. I don't care. Go ahead.
And I just have my walking stick,
Actually, I
Leaning
don't
on-
even think I have a
leaning-
dagger.
leaning on it heavily so that it looks like I have a bit of a limp.
Okay. So once you get through all that, they will let you know. Don't cheat. Cheaters
Wouldn't
never
dream
leave.
of it.
cheaters never leave.
Nobody
Wouldn't
looking
think
at
of it.
Don't
Nope.
threaten the staff. That's a bad plan.
Wouldn't dream
Okay.
of that. Be good to your service workers, people.
We have eyes everywhere.
Tip your waiter.
Don't go into the staff areas at the back. If you need to cash out or you need to change things, there are windows just before the staff area at the back. That same area, should you believe you could go there, there is the high roller area, but it is off limits unless you buy that pass. And above all, enjoy your time. Win. And they let you in.
Ah, so we have our Disney episode. Excellent.
Disney, this is a casino, dude.
Have you purchased our Fast Pass?
Yeah.
What fast pass? I don't think I do that anymore.
Oh, and Thea, keep your
Mhm.
eye out for people that look like they might be underworld heavies / gang, as that is who I need to begin to twist arms about to find out what in the world happened to Mouse and Turtle.
Got it.
Otherwise, you keep your eyes open and your hands in your pockets.
But why would you want to put your hands in your pockets? There are
I can
table
put
games.
them in others.
See, her immediate response is why I told her to keep her hands in her pockets.
Oh, man.
Listen,
I
we
got
may be-
sleight of
Oh.
hands.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta play some game.
Remember, cheaters never leave.
And listen,
It's
we
only
may
cheating
and
if you get caught.
no.
My
See,
God, Thea, you're a delight. You're gonna kill us, but you're a delight.
We'll make sure to make your tombstone very decorative.
With all the holy symbols that you've taken.
A little
Remember-
stride.
It'll be like a rainbow.
listen, if you get caught, we don't know you.
Yeah. And people will come by your gravestone and say that they are pantheistic.
Nice. I like it.
That's a good one.
You are on your way to being your own cult. I love it.
She
Oh,
does have the
okay,
keep. She is the keeper of the banknote, though.
No, Shelby is. Thea isn't.
Ah, true.
There's a
Yes.
distinction.
But not here. While we may be fighting and dealing with gods from other realms, someone can still, in fact, throw a Molotov in our window. And I happen to like having a house.
Yeah.
The best Molotov would be some quench, and that's definitely gonna come by.
Yeah, that's the official Kool-Aid of Thea's religion.
Thardelian quench.
He says, having a bottle of, at least a mostly empty bottle of quench in his pocket.
Pays to have some social lubricant.
So
By social lubricant, you mean fire, yes.
All right, let's.
Potato,
okay.
potato. So I see some fists at the front.
those are armed guards, armed and armored
The hustle.
at the doors. Anyone that looks like a money bag is a dealer at a table. The other sort of generic round symbol things are just other players. So, for instance, here I go trying to work on your screen again, not mine. Dealer,
Mhm.
2 players. Dealer, 1 player. Empty table, empty table.
Player but no game immediately to the left, i.e. the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is that person doing, seeing that they're not playing?
Essentially they're staring this way
Mm-hmm.
to a
And we
thing that
can't-
you can't see
and we
back
can't
here
see it from
behind this
there.
curving wall.
Well, then I would like to make my way over there. Allow me to go grab my icon.
I
Yeah, because we're all the way up there.
was gonna say I could pull you guys in if you want, but
But who's gonna babysit? Who's gonna babysit Thea?
Well, I have a question. Does sleight of hand specifically only work for the hand, or can it work for like, I guess, movement as well of the body?
so
like
it's an
hiding something.
overall art thing. But if you would like to step up and try a game, you can. It all depends on what you want to bet and what you want to play.
The players that are playing, do they seem more of like my variety kind of people, or
They are casino attendees. They are there to play, it seems like, but you are here earlier in the day. This is still the early crowd.
okay?
The folks that are here are basically just letting the things get warmed up. And since Yadu has moved over there, he can see the rest of the way down.
Ah,
More tables. There are essentially wait staff bustling in and out of here. This did it again. This area up here is a whole series of openings through the gate, or through the fence rather. It's basically a huge grated area so that people that are here can see out into essentially what is the competition floor, if you will.
Fighting pits.
Pretty much.
Well, it's a hippodrome, so it also should have horse racing, but yes.
Well, so it looks like they do have some form of racing in here, but it doesn't look like horse racing to anyone who has seen the Azinthian plains is a much bigger thing.
Mm-hmm.
Horse racing in there looks like it would be a nightmare.
Horse seems to be a very flexible term.
So there probably is some kind of racing going on in between the fights.
Mm-hmm.
It could be small monsters, could be dogs, it could be.
Yeah, so at this point it's little H Hippodrome, not capital H Hippodrome. Yeah.
Yep. That
Fair enough.
they clearly have delusions of grandeur.
Mm-hmm. So I
So what?
nod over to Thea first and just want her to put her perceptive peepers on the people that are over here in front of the band so that we can rule them out as people that I need to go get to know / intimidate.
So they are a few of the folks looking for entertainment. This is the dueling duo. Basically, they do a little song and dance kind of thing. They are the early evening entertainment. They
Yeah, I
do
was
songs.
focusing in on the guy sitting next to me and the 4 people that are in front of the stage.
Basically low level groupies, and the guy
Okay.
sitting there is looks a lot like the band manager.
That's exactly what I was thinking he was, so that's good to know. So I walk up to the band manager. You got a good group here.
He 110% gives you the side eye on that one, like a fan. I take it.
Not so much a fan as somebody who's looking for people that are going to have you paying insurance to make sure nothing happens to them. We're getting word that there are people like that, and I'm here to put them out of business to keep you safe. Not because you're you, but because you're not them. You seen anybody like that? And I am backing that up with dirty 20.
I think you aren't interested in the entertainment here.
Mm-hmm.
You're much more interested in the fight card later.
I am. And so anything I should be looking for, just as a friendly way to keep your people safe.
My people are always safe.
Yeah, but you don't have to spend as much of your cut keeping them safe if I take care of this.
Not how it works here.
Fair. All right, so I'll keep an eye on the fights then.
Okay. Right now they don't have any running.
Mm-hmm.
I see Dundon headed for a table. Are you gonna actually play a game?
Keeping a lookout.
Okay. One of the servers does come up. They're like, you could sit at a game table.
I could have a stone whiskey too.
That you could, and off they go.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate the consistency of this group.
I'm trying to decide where I'm going to park myself.
DM, quick question.
Yeah.
The Weaver rep from Rockvale. He was a why am I blanking on the word? He was a drow, wasn't he?
Okay.
Varan or
So-
drow.
He was an elf.
Mm-hmm.
However, he had characteristics that made him look less like the sort of elf that you would know from forest, woodland, whatever. But
All right.
out of game or out of character stuff.
Yeah.
As it was stated, I believe
There are no.
There are no drow.
as a known race in game terminology, the drow do not at this point exist in this world.
Okay, makes sense.
Not in the way that they are preset in D&D.
Makes sense. All right, I just wanted to clarify. I remember there was something off about him. I was looking to see if there was anyone who had a similar trait or characteristics that I could see. Cat. Stop it.
So
Hmm.
you guys are grabbing yourself some seats, looking for drinks, I presume.
Yeah.
Thea,
Or
you're
I
not
was
going to
gonna
go
go
for a
down.
game?
Thea's gonna go for a game. Where, let's see. There?
All right. So, the question to you, the player, do you want Three Dragon Ante? Or do you want to play Life and Death?
Let's play life and death.
Okay. What do you want to bet?
Hold on, before we make another Thea-esque description, or another Thea-esque decision. What are the rules of life and death?
Essentially it's a dice rolling game. So we'll
Okay.
use a D20. House rolls. You roll. Tell me the number. If I get higher, you lose. I take your money. If you get higher, you win that same amount of money. If it's a tie, then you have two options. You can surrender, and you only lose half, or you can go to war, in which case you have to double your bet and roll again.
Wow.
And then if you're really feeling it and you win the war roll, you could push your luck, double again immediately and roll again.
This is why you asked how much spending money we have, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Well
Hold
played.
on, hold on. I wanna.
The other player puts out 4 gold.
4 gold? Yeah. I'll play for 4 gold.
Life and death?
Life and death.
All right.
It's a
I will
perfect game
say-
for Thea.
I would like
It
to say
is.
before dice rolls happen, I'm trying to find a spot to park myself because I've had an interesting idea that Elspeth has not seen much in the way of gambling. So I kind of want her to have a seat where she can view, and then I want to take advantage of the fact that she's really smart and basically have her playing the odds in her head. She's playing things out in her head.
Okay.
Best spot, I think, is where I just placed my icon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of want her. I kind of wanted to have that beautiful mind moment where it's just like, okay, I just want to see how this goes because that's what's fascinating to her is the odds, the way things shift and flow in this case.
And now is Thea able to use her slate of hand with her dice rolls?
Do you really want to start with that, or you just want to take a roll first and see if you win?
Okay. I guess I'll try it first.
Okay.
Cheaters don't leave.
Roll it up.
Always remember.
Oh, that's just karma stupidity.
What'd you get?
I got a 1.
Tie.
Damn.
A 1 and a 1.
Wow.
So do you want to surrender and lose 2 gold? Or do you want to go to war and double down?
And the other players effectively already won, right?
The other player crushed it. So yeah, he takes
Yeah.
his 4 and he's out.
He's out, right?
Let's go for war.
Go for war, double down. It's 8. Roll again.
I have a 20.
You win. So now you've won 8 on top of the 8 you put out. Do you want to push your luck? There's 16 out. You could push your luck and double right now.
Sure. I'm feeling lucky.
Roll it again.
Yeah, 17.
You win. That's 32.
That's the hand.
Congratulations.
All right.
Want to play again?
Just
Yeah.
remember, 90% of winners stop before they 90% of gamblers stop just before they win.
Now looking around at the other player, like other tables,
Mm-hmm.
do others seem to be winning? Like, is this like a one of those casinos where it has action, or is this one of the stingier seeming ones?
Give me a perception roll on that.
The perception or insight, out of curiosity?
Insight. Whatever. Whichever one's better.
Definitely perception for me. I got a 26.
It's early, so it really looks like the drinks are flowing and these people are just sort of getting started. So yeah, I mean, you won right away. So it looks to you like, yeah, this is they're greasing the wheels. That money's all coming back later. You're sure of it.
Yeah, I'll just stop for now.
Okay. You could always hit up another table and play Three Dragon Ante.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna test your you can go to the single table near where Yadu is.
Yeah. There. Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
grabbed the
I
wrong
moved
person,
Elspeth.
but
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
I ain't
Yeah.
gambling.
Sorry, Elspeth.
all right, I'm gonna test you. How many D12s do you have?
I don't know. I don't. Is it 12?
I'd be willing to wait. How many dice sets do you have?
Dice sets? Oh, if I have one, I only have one.
Okay.
So she has one D12.
Yes.
So okay, so if you go to Owlbear, I think in the top left, see the die roll right there.
Oh.
Yep.
Pick the D12, the one with the 12 on it,
Oh.
but go to the D12 again,
Yeah, you can
Mhm.
click it.
put 5 of them out there.
Oh.
All right.
Right? Okay. So the way the game works, let me roll mine. The way the game works is actually a card game where you're going to flip one of your cards at a time and bet on each card until you have 3. At the end of 3, the person with the highest total number wins the pot. Right now it's just you against the house.
Face card value, or do they not have face cards?
It's just the number, whatever the number is. So do your 5 12s.
I got a 31.
Okay. Each individual number, you only get to reveal 3. First bet, house puts out 4 gold and shows you a 10. What of the 5 dice that you rolled, pick one. What are you going to show? You're gonna of 3 that you show, you've got to come up with the highest number compared to their number.
In each round
What's
or
so
consecutively?
total at the end?
Okay. I will show a 12.
Okay. second round, the house puts out another 4 and shows another 10. You're going to match the 4?
Thea's gonna match the 4. But I'm only gonna put out a 7 right now.
Okay. Last one. House puts out 7 more for a total of 15. Shows a 12. Which puts their total 15 gold, total score 32.
Thea's just gonna put an 8 out there. But is she able to do a sleight of hand too? Well, no, I won't cheat. I'll just take a bite. All right.
So you lose 15.
Yep.
All right.
House beat you.
Is there? Sorry, I'm curious now. Is there a rule for folding? Like it's clear she's losing, she could just.
She
Go,
could have
no, you're
bailed. She could have bailed at as soon as she saw the second one come out. She could have bailed right then and just lost the 8.
Oh, oops.
But if the third card is out, you have to play it out to the end.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
So there you go. You've played. Anyone else want in? A bunch of non-gambling, like no.
I do not bet.
I'm already taking a gamble by being here. I don't need
Yeah, I
to
was gonna
add to
say.
that.
I don't want to be distracted by the games.
Man is dedicated to his drink.
I kind of
That-
want to check out where these two big skeleton looking dudes are over by this bar.
Oh, those are basically like giant suits of armor.
That's what I meant to say. Thank you.
What's that?
Is that
That's
the
what I
back
meant
area?
to say. Yeah, in the back area. the
Yeah,
suits
I
of
thought we
armor.
weren't allowed back there.
So if you stroll over towards, where's my pointer? You're strolling over here is where I'm presuming you're talking about. These are 2 giant suits of armor.
Yeah.
As you stroll back there, you can see down into that area. You do see one guard, and you realize that that's where the money changers are.
Oh. So when things inevitably go wrong, make sure we check back here.
But there's also essentially, as you come down here and look around this corner, you can see a little offset corridor in here. That goes into an area that looks like the aforementioned high rollers area, which you need a pass to get into.
Are there any I guess there's no high rollers looking people walking about in this main floor, is there?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't forget you were given the name of a contact person.
And high rollers seem like the sort to not walk or to constantly have a bodyguard around with them. They seem like the sort to have 1 or 2 dungeons always attacked at the hip.
Eh?
The ones that keep their money are.
There's a at a guess, there's a level of professional courtesy. You're coming into this place to gamble. Walking around with a couple of bruisers, no matter how high end they are or classy they look, isn't the kind of thing you do. Because it implies you might not enjoy losing your money and thus wreck the establishment, thus causing problems. Do I have that about right, GM?
That would seemingly be the idea. This place doesn't seem quite as high rent as some of the other places you've heard of.
True, there is that.
And it is still early.
Yeah.
It is not, however, early in our actual day. We're coming up on 5 to 9.
Oh my.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, our montage took a bit there, but we got some stuff established.
sorry. Do we want to endeavor to do more, or do we want to call it here and push?
I think we can call it here. Because we're meeting again next week.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so next week I'm definitely interested in when the fights start. So that'll be the thing I'm focused in on. Does anybody want to give him things you'll be focused in on so we can,
I'll
you
be
know-
looking in on the fights too.
okay.
I don't care about the fights. I want to find this contact.
No, I was gonna say, that's why I think we need sort of two groups within this place. One who's looking around for the right person to talk to, and others who are watching the pugilism, because I have a feeling that's where the muscle's gonna show.
I can assist Azathan with finding the contact.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Elspeth's initial desire is right now, people watching, this is a new experience, and
So we've lost
Seeing-
Elspeth to the minutia. That's fine. You can kind of be in between and play floater.
I can't play floater. What I was also going to suggest is if there's a reason to be in the high rollers room, having the lucky girl on your arm is quite an easy way to get an extra person in there who's not playing.
Very true.
Arm candy makes sense. So that's probably Azathan, you may have to drape Elspeth over you like good jewelry at some point, but Thea and I'll definitely be playing with the rough trade.
What?
All right. Here we
And
go.
make sure if you let me know if it's worth the high rollers, because then Thea wants to make an appearance.
You
That's
want
what
to
I'm
pick a
talking
pocket or
about.
two.
Gonna start gambling for real.
Oh, gods.
All right, here we go. And that's it.